a lot of the drag content that we've seen on TV before has required the queens to only really be performing when they were lip syncing for their life, singing a song that they didn't normally perform, and that was not sort of showcasing them in the way that they're used to being seen.
Mhm.
So we thought there's an opportunity to show queens be funny on their own terms.
This is such a fun, fresh show. I'm having a blast watching it. How did this concept come about? What inspired you both to get into this?
Well, I'm in the food world. Well, was or still am. I mean, that was my sort of world for a while. I sort of left acting and became a chef and did some Food Network shows, and we judged on shows. And you know, I grew up in the drag community in East Village, and Neil loves drag and did Hedwig. So we thought, like, marry the two. How much fun would that be to have drag queens cooking?
It's a nice combination, I think, of getting to watch amazing drag queens do what they love doing, to watch them entertain and to be funny and sharp and on point, and then also to watch them panicking and outside of their comfort zone, and to combine the two into a show that is not making fun of them, but sort of laughing with them. That was very intentional for us. As like we thought that would be good, worth watching.
Absolutely. And it feels like a very timely show with everything that's going on regarding drag. Was that something that you had in the back of your minds whenever you were getting into this, or is it just kind of a coincidence that it's coming out now?
Oh, it's not. That wasn't an intentional. There was no agenda to the show. Mm-hmm. We really just respect and admire the queens. Mm-hmm. And if there was any agenda, it would probably be that a lot of the drag content that we've seen on TV before has required the queens to only really be performing when they were lip syncing for their life, singing a song that they didn't normally perform, and that was not sort of showcasing them in the way that they're used to being seen. Mm-hmm. So we thought there's an opportunity to show queens be funny on their own terms. And so that was kind of what we wanted to do.
And Drag Race is amazing and we love it. And I don't think our show would have been produced without Drag Race. But the only time you really get to see these girls is when they're doing a runway and lip syncing for their life. So you don't see them living, being, like what they do in their act. This show has been in our world for 5 years now. We, with the pandemic, and we sold it to another streaming company, and that ended up not happening. So thank God Hulu picked it up. Yeah. But it's been here for a while, so it wasn't an agenda of like, oh, drag's like in trouble now, so we got to pick up the pieces. No. If anything, I feel like it's a perfect time. Drag is at the forefront of everyone's talking about it. So, it seems great, when there's a fire, put more logs on it.
Well, at the end of the day, I think humor is the ultimate unifier. Mm-hmm. And so when you watch, if you have any questions about drag or concerns, watch Drag Me to Dinner, and I think you'll leave laughing and smiling and, perhaps having a change of perspective.
And that's why we did it in the first place, to have people just celebrate drag and have a laugh. Because right now, regardless of what's going on in the drag community, everybody needs to laugh right now. We just need to sit and have fun and laugh and sing and be silly and unify. And that's what a dinner party does. Like, that's why you have dinner parties, to bring everyone together and to unify them.
Well, and speaking of being together, what was it like working together? I always love seeing you work together. I imagine you like it. You keep doing it. For
sure. I'm the biggest David Burtka fan in the world. We met both acting on Broadway in musicals together, like down the street from each other. And then he has gotten to do so many amazing things and gather so many different skill sets that to be able to co-produce a show with him, to co-create a show with him, and then to get to be a judger and have him, be the expert and to focus in on things that he knows about, in addition to acting and performing. He knows about dinner parties and about cooking and about how to make food and drinks. And so it's kind of a perfect showcase for David and his skill sets as well.
It's great. It's honestly great. I mean, it's the way we parent. We're very different parents in the way we parent, but it's a very nice contrast, on how we're very different in our techniques. And that was the same with the show. Like Neil did different tasks that I didn't do. Like I would work with the queens more and pick the queens and go scout and like get the teams together. And then on set, I'd be working with the food elements and I'd be making sure the dinner party elements good with them. And then Neil would be more of like getting the shots and the director and making sure that everybody's like the camaraderie is there. And like we have our different strengths and we use those to our benefit. And we didn't overlap in like a competition-y way of like, oh, well, he's doing that, so I can't do that. So it worked really, really well, I thought.
Well,
and he's super handsome to look at.
We can all agree on that. Well, it came together beautifully. I am absolutely loving the show. I can't wait for everyone to get to see it. So thank you for talking with me about it. Now, I am absolutely loving Drag Me to Dinner. It's so fun. It's so fresh. And it seemed like it was an absolute blast to make. What was the vibe like on set? Because I'm surprised y'all got anything done, honestly.
I hated every second on set. I'm surprised I'm even here to tell the story about it. No, we had a blast on set. And I never met Bianca or Murray, but I was a huge fan of drag coming into the show and a huge fan of Bianca Del Rio.
Excuse me, I'm right here.
I know. I was hoping that if I whispered, he wouldn't hear. But I had a really good time on this show. And then also seeing these drag queens that I have been watching for years and years and years. I mean, my car is named Latrice Royale. So
yes.
Huge.
What kind of car?
You know why? Do you know why her car is named Latrice Royale? Because she broke down and she gets around. So
no, that is not why. No,
She's got a flat.
No, I have a Tesla, one of the SUVs, and
okay.
She is big, black, and just curvy and beautiful. It just reminds me of Latrice Royale, so that's what I call her.
Expensive, yes.
Girl, I'm still making payments, okay?
Yeah. Now, I love getting to see drag superstars, both from, Drag Race and also just the world of drag, which is so much larger. What was the best part of getting to bring all of these people together? I know, Bianca, you've worked with so many of them.
Well, let's be real. They've worked with me. And what's interesting, I'm kidding. No, I've said this before in interviews. What I love the most about it is that it's kind of, we go into an episode with two groups of queens. They do their tasks. They try to create the best party. We pick a winner and we get rid of the bitches. That's what makes it so exciting. So they have literally 45 minutes to bring their best in the edit to be fabulous. I mean, they were cooking all day. I mean, literally when we filmed it, Haneefah and I, being the judges, were in another building, waiting around, not knowing what was going on. So we had no idea what it took for them to create the madness. We just got to go in and experience the parties and judge it based off that. So for us, it was a blast. We got to drink, we got to eat, we got to make judgments on people. And frankly, that's what me and Haneefah do well. We really do. We really do. But it was,
and we look cute doing it.
And we look cute. And we love a theme. So we were like, this is actually a lot of fun. And I think he got to show a different side of the queens. As you mentioned before, some of them have been on other reality shows, including myself. But here it was just complete chaos and absolute fun. And the girls bringing their A game to win the coveted prize of the Golden Grater. Now, where else can you get a prize like that?
Crate and Barrel? No.
Dollar store, baby. But still, it was a coveted prize and a title.
Now, Anna,
I love it.
Anna, to answer your actual question,
please, Murray.
What I really like about this show that especially coming from me, who's in an underrepresented category within the drag community and within society, is that this show specifically went out and honored the giants that we stand on today. And no show has done that before. So the producers and Neil and David, they really went out and got, people that aren't on TV, but it has such huge impact on the community, like Jackie, Sherry, Heklina, Peaches Christ, and, and then the Brooklyn Queens, and then all these different queens. So I think that's great that we honor the history of drag and celebrate the new kids, and then also celebrate the superstars. So it's a very inclusive show within the community. And I don't think another show has done that. Yeah, what do you think, Haneefah? I don't think so.
Well, I think that we do it in a different way. There might be other shows that have done it. However, we're just straight fun, right?
Yeah.
Like there's no real competition happening. We're just there to have a cackle. I know. Sorry, girl. We literally are just there to have a good time. And I think that gives an ease to the show, right? You don't have to think a lot to watch our show. You're just there to be entertained. And I think that the show is super entertaining.
It is. And you mentioned the giants of the drag world, and seeing Heklina was so wonderful, such a special episode. What was that like filming and then now getting to release it for all of you?
Well, I think, one thing, there's been so many tributes for Heklina, and, she is a legend. And I will say, my personal experience, she was hilarious that day.
Yeah.
And the thing that is so beautiful about Heklina is she's always championed everyone. Every queen, king, non-binary, they're always saying, oh, Heklina is the first person to book me in San Francisco, or she's the first person. So she really is the matriarch. And I think this episode, that we're going to see her in her light and her funniness, and also her, that the icon that she is.
Yeah, absolutely. I know, Bianca, there have been a ton of drag tributes to her. What was it like getting to now see this episode come out with people getting excited to see it?
Well, all I remember is that day that we were cackling. I mean, Heklina and I are problems. When we get together, nothing really gets accomplished. And I've been able to do some shows in San Francisco along with Peaches Christ, some live production with Heklina. And the thing with Heklina was we would rehearse one thing, but whatever happened on stage was a completely another story. So the same thing happened this particular day. She brought the fun, she brought the humor, and I'm so glad that the episode is being aired, and she would love it, trust me, because it shows her sick, demented, rotted, hysterical self. And I'm just glad that everybody gets to see it. Sadly, she won't be here, but of course, when you watch this, you go, all right, she was a good bitch and highly fucking entertaining. I mean, we laughed our asses off that day. We really did.
Absolutely. Well, I can't wait for everyone to get to see all of Drag Me to Dinner. It's so much fun, and I very much appreciate all of your time.